Kathleen Mahuto, and my page is the Fought for Girls, and I'm the superpower of the girl child. I'm the author of this book I'm holding here. I'm a mother of 4 grown-up children, and I'm a grandmother to 12 children and a great-grandmother to some boys. So I'm not a young girl, and hence I want to speak about issues that we go through as women. And in the face of being a girl child, I always speak of the girl child. As you can see, the books here says it's the power of the girl child. So yeah, being a grandmother, a mother, and we start from being a girl child. What do we go through in the eyes of a girl child? What is it that is going through our lives as women? I recognize that we have things that happen as we grow up, and we go through traumas, stigmas, manipulations, abuse, sometimes even killed, and a lot of things goes around women, as we can see. There's a lot that goes on, and there's also a lot of friction that goes on between men and women. It's not fun. It's something that we really need to take care of and really look at how these things can be solved. But today I'm actually talking about our culture as Zimbabweans, and I will definitely try and say something which really bothers me many times, and I also would want to sort of make an awareness of such things, as I said in my topic, in the eyes of a girl child. What does she see? And when she gets to a point where she has to get married, what happens? What happens during these days? And as we speak right now, do girls think it is okay to get married? That's a question, right? Or when we look at the boy child, is he comfortable to talk about marriage? If not, why? What's going on? And now I'm looking at myself as a Zimbabwean, and also talking of my culture, because I'm from Zimbabwe. And why I want to speak about this is because in a global world now, where children are migrating to other countries, and some are born in those countries as well, where they follow something else which is not what we are used to know. Because to be honest, the child is born in a foreign land and doesn't go home maybe until that child is grown up. He or she does not know anything about what we call culture. And so in today's video, what culture I'm going to talk about is how, when we grow up as boys and girls, we get to a point where we get married. What do we do? And how is our culture going on, especially now that we, as I said, we now live in a global world where we need to make sure that wherever we are living, we follow the regulations and rules of those countries. And also, are we able then to understand our own culture and follow what our forefathers used to do, because we live in a foreign land? And the children also, they are getting married across the board, across the world. They go to a foreign land, they meet someone there, they get married. Or they still follow on to their Zimbabwean family and colleagues, they get married to one of theirs, which is Zimbabwean. But then in the event they do not get married to a Zimbabwean, and they get married to interracial, to someone else, like pink, yellow, white, you name it. The child gets married. What happens then? Which culture is this going to, are they going to follow? Especially, they are not from the same country. And the other country like ours, they are talking of mombe, they are talking of cattle, they are talking of dowries, which are exorbitant sometimes no, or sometimes nobody really cares what is going on. So because of this, I'm actually at the point whereby I need to explain a bit more from the eyes of a girl child, especially from Zimbabwe. So this is my topic. I'll be short and precise. So from the cultures that we followed, like myself in my age, pay money, and when they pay money, they will also have to pay cattle. And when they bring the cattle to my family, they will be 10. And out of the 10, one of those beasts, one will be given to my mom. And when my mom is given the beast, it's not going to be hers. That beast is going to be taken to her family. So let's say if her father and her mother are no longer there, like in my case, my grandmother was not there. Who is given this cow? It's given to her cousins, her brother's sons, or if the brother is there, to her brother. So he's the one who's going to be in charge of this cow called Mombe Omai. So when we look at this Mombe Omai, what used to happen to it is it will have to give birth to a calf, and then when they take the calf, they kill the mother and they keep this calf. But the calf should also be a cow. That was, this is English, I struggle. And so out of this, that one, the one that was born, it is going to continue having its own calves, isn't it? So what it means is it doesn't end there. It will continue to evolve in this family. And at the end of the day, people get married. And my children then, they start having issues with the family. And when they come back now, they start saying, oh, it's because of that cow. People killed it in the wrong way, or it was not given to the ancestors or to the spirits that they would accept this cow. So at the end of the day, it's those children who cause a lot of issues because things are not going the right way in their families. So now they are now looking at a point whereby they are asking, was this done properly? But definitely look at it this way, because this is culture which was actually programmed to make sure that the women do not ask and they do not challenge the status quo. These are 10 cattle or beasts which were brought to my dowry. And out of all that, it's only one which is given to my mom. This culture has ignored the fact that the mother is the giver of life. Has carried this child for 9 months in her belly, and she goes for labor and gives birth. It's not about that only. She continues taking care of that child till the child is grown up to a point whereby she's now a big girl and getting ready to get married. And many times the fathers are not there. In many circumstances, even if they are married, even if you stay in a relationship or in a marriage, some fathers are not even there, to be honest. It's a question of mothers struggling here and there. We have seen women struggle every corner. And at one time I did ask one of these girls, I said, can I ask you a question? What do you think of marriage? Are you going to get married one day? Do you know what she said? She said, no. No, not at the moment. Maybe later I might change my mind. And I also asked the boy, I said, are you going to get married one of these days? He also went on, well, I don't know, I'm not sure. But if it comes, then yeah, I'll get married. If I meet the right person, but there's no right person. The right person has got to be you. You have to make things right and then understand the other person, that she can also be wrong or right, and you have to work together so that you become a couple that understands each other and a couple with boundaries. I don't leave this word because it matters a lot when it comes to relationships. So this Mombeomai, to our culture, it's something that really has issues, and it is really, well, I can't say it has caused havoc, because it's people who wants to believe that it causes havoc. But what I want to look at is, why is this cow causing havoc into the people's lives? It's just a cow. Look at the reasons behind it. And we also want to look at the culture, why this cow was introduced as a token to a mother who gave birth to a child. Meanwhile, the father is given more than necessary, and then he even ends up going to get married to another person, to another woman, with that money or those cows or those cattle. You understand? So it's a question of people understanding the spirits. We normally believe in our ancestors. We also believe in our spirits, that we are spiritual people. But if things are not done properly, is the spirit not avenging this, and they are probably avenging in the wrong side, because it should avenge somehow, some way, because one, it's not the mother's fault. The culture looked at a woman and looked at her and said, she cannot have all these cows or these cattle, she doesn't deserve them. It was a man's idea that a man is the one who chooses whether to give you those cows or no, or whether to go and use them and marry someone and create another family, apart from myself enjoying those dowries for my daughter. And for the reason that a lot of men, they are happy with this. When women start to ask the status quo, they become aggressive. They even think it's not necessary for us to ask. It's been the norm since we were young, from our mothers, our grandmothers, our great-grandmothers. The norm has been the norm, and going on up to where we are today. So this is a culture. My question is, do we still continue with this kind of a culture where it puts down the needs of a woman, where it doesn't respect the mother that actually carried a child for 9 months, and then get up to a point whereby a man has to decide to that mother to say, because I'm the father, I make decisions you don't have. Is it time for women to ask questions? For the young generation, it's time as well to ask questions. The wrong thing that I realize is that our cultures were never written anyway. We are imposed, especially on women. They were never written. If we continue to ask, where are the written strategies, or where is something that we can read to say, this is how we used to do things, this is how we used to get married, and this is how our women get married. We follow culture of which is being told by someone, and someone continues to manipulate to a point whereby now children are getting married, and someone asks for a car, a Mercedes Benz, a Rolls Royce, a Rolex watch, or a bottle of whiskey, a bottle of expensive gin. I don't know, were these things there? Now with time, people are evolving further, and what is happening now is manipulating, overcharging, and selling the girl child, especially. Should a girl child ask, why am I being sold? A lot that we need to ask as children, because this generation, the Generation Z, is a generation that asks questions. They have a question which they always ask, why? As parents, can I ask you today, are you going to continue with this culture of Mombe Omai? Are you a parent who is going to continue with this culture which is asking your children to do Mombe Omai? Are you a parent who is going to follow your culture because you were born in that culture, and people continue to speak about whatever happens in that culture? Are you sure you are going to follow that? And for Mombe Omai, you live in diaspora. There's no a cattle cage where you're going to keep it. What are you going to do? Are you going to get money? And at the end of the day, when you get money, what is going to happen? Those are my questions for today. As I go through this, I will continue to speak about Mombe Omai, and I want to find out from others how they feel about this. Please feel free to comment, and also feel free, you can share, and also subscribe to my channel as we go through. We are here to learn. We are not here to fight. We don't have to be aggressive against each other, but we are here to learn and become people who understand where we are going and where we came from. It's also important because we have our history. So this history, yes, we do understand about the history. It should be written down, and so that our future generation will not ask us why. Today, I wish you well. Subscribe to my channel, and let's go. Let's see what happens. God bless you. Thank you very much for today.